Hi hamster lovers and welcome back to Pancake's channel. This week I'm going to be reacting to my subscribers' hamster cages and maybe offering some advice on how to improve them. The first cage was sent by Cupcake Ham on Instagram. They have a dwarf hamster living in here. I'm not sure how many square inches this is, however it definitely looks like it's over the minimum. It has deep substrate across the whole of the enclosure, which is excellent for the hamster to burrow in. I like how they've added hay into the bedding and scattered it over the top, as this will help support the hamster's burrows and also foraging. The carrot wood roll is also a nice addition, as it will help keep the hamster's teeth trim and also keep them busy. It looks like they've scattered their food mix amongst the hay, which is excellent for them to have to forage for. The moss also really complements the natural setup. I like that you're using a water bowl, as this is a more natural alternative than a water bottle. However, water bottles can also be used. Some bendable bridges are unsafe as they are uneven and have lots of gaps. However, I can't see any gaps in this one. A hamster can get their toes and feet stuck in these gaps, which can potentially break them, but you can get bendable bridges without gaps. It also looks like you have a sand bath in there, which is excellent. The cork wheel goes well with the setup. It also looks large enough so that the hamster's back won't bend while it's running on it. I'd be careful with the softwood hide because some people say it can leak resin because it's made of pine. They're sometimes made with nails, so that's just something to keep in mind. Also, Cupcake is very cute. The next cage was sent by Lily's Lifestyle. It's home to a female Syrian hamster called Mabel. This cage is definitely over 1,000 square inches, which is excellent. Unfortunately, it's made of pretty flimsy plastic panels, which is an escape hazard. Hamsters are escape artists, so they will be able to chew through this very easily, so that might be something to just keep in mind. It has 8 inches of bedding, which is enough for them to burrow in. She uses a mixture of Criticare and Katie Clean and Cozy bedding, which are both paper-based, which is safe. There is also Carefresh bedding in here, which is good because it's paper-based, which means it's safe. There are also multiple substrates in the enclosure, which is an excellent form of enrichment. The different substrates are EcoEarth, Reptibark and sand, which are good. She also said she uses any sand at a local pet store. Not all sand in the pet store is safe, so just make sure it's calcium, dust and powder free, colour free and not chinchilla dust. It's also important to sift through it before you use it. You also have an 11-inch Wodent wheel, which is very good. I also like all of the wooden gnaws that you've added, as well as the cork log. You've also scattered the hay, nature's salad and food mix around the enclosure, which is great for foraging. The terracotta pot is excellent to have as another texture, and the multi-chamber hideout is great. Maybe keep in mind that if the hamster chews on the plastic hideouts, then they can ingest some of the plastic. This can potentially be dangerous, but if they don't chew on it, then it's fine. They also use a mixture of Higgins Sunburst and Missouri Rat and Mouse diet, which is excellent. I think it's also one of the best food mixes on the market. The next cage is a DIY bin cage by PT.1 on YouTube. It is home to a very cute Syrian hamster called Toffee. I like that you're using a bin cage. I recommend upgrading your enclosure because it will give you more space to add more enrichment for your hamster. It would also give them more space to run around in. I recommend a bare minimum of 775 square inches, which is 100 by 50 centimeters. This is the minimum hamster enclosure size in Germany. I also recommend upgrading your wheel, as 10 inches can be a bit too small for a Syrian. 11 inches is the minimum wheel size in Germany. Instead of using a food bowl, I recommend scattering the food around the enclosure. This allows the hamster to forage for it. As I said before, make sure there's no gaps in between the pieces of wood in the bendable bridge. I like that you have wood for your hamster to gnaw on, as well as homemade chews. I like that you've added dried herbs and flowers and Timothy hay, as this is good for their foraging. I recommend getting a proper hideout or DIYing one. A multi-chamber hideout would be good, however a normal one will be fine. Just something secure for them to hide in. 8.5 inches of bedding is enough for them to burrow in, which is good. I'd also recommend adding more toys and foraging toys and hideouts and tubes, as this will enrich your hamster's enclosure. Toffee is adorable. The next cage was sent by Bailey and Noelle on Pinterest. It is home to a very cute hamster called Noelle. I'm not sure how big the cage is, but it looks like it's over the minimum. It also looks like you've used a mixture of aspen and paper-based bedding, which is excellent. Just be careful with the bendable bridge, as it looks like there's some quite big gaps in between the pieces of wood. I can see the top of a Trixie silent spinner wheel, which is 11 inches, which is a good size. I'd keep in mind that the softwood bridge can potentially leak resin because it's made out of pine, and it could be made with nails. You could replace the bendable bridge with cardboard or a plank of wood like you're using as the dividers in the other parts of the enclosure. I'm not sure how deep the bedding is, but it looks deep enough. Just make sure it's over 6 inches as a minimum. However, around 10 inches is preferred. I also like that you have a big sand bath. I recommend adding in some more hideouts and toys. Dried herbs, flowers and sprays would also look good in the enclosure and be more enriching, and maybe add in some more wood for them to gnaw on. I also recommend scatter feeding their food for them to forage for. The next cage is an IKEA Detolf. It has around 950 square inches of floor space, which is excellent. I really like the way it's been set up. It looks like they're using paper-based bedding, which is a safe type of bedding. The bedding is also deep enough for them to burrow in. It looks like they're using a Night Angel wheel. I'm not sure what the diameter is of this wheel, but I recommend that it's at least 11 inches for a Syrian hamster. I like the sand bath and all of the enrichment that you've added for your hamster. The platform is also a nice touch. I also like that you're using a water bowl and a water bottle. It's very cute that you have a hamster camera as well. Just one thing, I wouldn't recommend using the bendable bridges. Instead, you could use cardboard or the Night Angel bridge that you're using that leads up to the sand bath. I also think the mushroom hideout is adorable, and I can see you've added some wood for them to gnaw on, which is excellent. Also, I like the fact that the hideout is covered, as it offers the hamster more privacy while they're bathing. It looks like you've added some moss over to the right side of the enclosure, which is a good texture for them. Maybe consider adding some fresh, dust-free orchard grass or timothy hay to the bedding. This will help support their burrows. To make it even more enriching, you could add some more substrates such as cork granules, beach chips, eco-earth, which is coconut fibre, or some sprays. But overall, I think your hamster's enclosure is really good. If you would like me to react to your hamster cage, then please tag me on either Pinterest, YouTube or Instagram. Thank you to everyone who submitted pictures of their hamster enclosure. I hope you found my commentary useful. That's the end of this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe. Bye!